Hold on to your hats, everybody. It's about to get windy. And when I say windy, I mean this is gonna blow your mind. November 12, 1970, the Bay of Bengal. As families slept in coastal villages of Bangladesh, the strongest cyclone in recorded history roared ashore. By morning, 500,000 lives were gone. In the world's deadliest storm, what went down out there? Who were these people who met their demise? And why have we not seen anything like it since? Let's find out. This is the story of the deadliest cyclone in history. Welcome to my channel. On November 12, 1970, the moon was full and the skies over the Bay of Bengal were dark and stormy. The winds were howling at 115 miles per hour as a monster cyclone barreled toward the shore. People called it the Bhola Cyclone, or the Great Cyclone. The storm started as a tropical weather system near India, and then moved across the Bay of Bengal. It reached the coast of East Pakistan, which is now Bangladesh. At that time, East Pakistan was a province of what was then West Pakistan. Millions of people lived in low-lying coastal villages along the Bay of Bengal. They were farmers and fishermen who had little warning of the approaching storm. There were some weather reports that an intense cyclone was coming, but they did not give the exact time of arrival. So many people thought they had more time than they really did. Many people recall thinking, "Oh no, I don't want to go through this again," because in recent years, there had been cyclones around this time of year, but none had been nearly as powerful as the one that would strike them down. The storm slammed into the coast in the middle of the night. Waves from the cyclone caused a storm surge that rose 20 to 30 feet high. That wall of water rushed ashore, swallowing entire villages. Many people were caught off guard by the rising waters. They didn't realize the danger until it was too late. Some people ran for higher ground, but there wasn't much higher ground to go to, because most of the land there is only a few feet above sea level. The water swept away thousands of people in minutes. Houses were destroyed. Farmlands were ruined. Entire islands were wiped off the map. The winds tore apart thatched huts, blew them inland, or carried them out to sea. Survivors recalled climbing trees to escape the rising waters, but the sea eventually swallowed everything. One survivor said, "I saw bodies floating in the water, people who had been swept out of their homes. I searched for my husband and children all day, but I couldn't find them anywhere. They had vanished." Another survivor said, "It was hell on earth. The cyclone was so strong it uprooted trees, blew away houses, and turned the whole world upside down." A third person said, "It was a terrible, terrible night. I still can't sleep at night. When I hear the wind blowing or the rain falling, I think the end of the world is coming again." In total, somewhere between 300,000 and 500,000 people were killed by the storm. Some estimates say even higher than that, upwards of 1 million people. Hundreds of thousands of people were injured, and many survivors suffered long-term health problems as a result of their injuries. Many people also lost their homes and their livelihoods. Whole communities were wiped out. The storm hit one of the poorest areas in the world and left it in ruins. It's hard to imagine how anyone could survive such a disaster, but many did. Survivors faced many challenges in the aftermath of the storm. They had to deal with the loss of their loved ones, their homes, and their property. They also had to contend with disease and starvation. Many people were too afraid to return to their homes. They had seen firsthand how quickly and unexpectedly disaster can strike. They also feared another cyclone, the likes of which they had never before experienced. To understand why the Bhola cyclone was so deadly, we have to first look at the Bay of Bengal itself. The Bay of Bengal is a large body of water between India and Sri Lanka. It's home to a variety of marine life, including coral reefs and endangered species. The bay is also home to millions of people. The Bay of Bengal has a funnel-shaped coast that funnels water from the ocean into the lower-lying areas of East Pakistan, which is now Bangladesh. This funnel shape made the storm surge even deadlier. The storm surge was the most destructive force of the cyclone. It was a wall of water that rose as high as 30 feet in some places. This wall of water rushed ashore and caused widespread devastation. It destroyed homes, swept away people and animals, and caused widespread flooding. The storm surge was responsible for the vast majority of deaths and injuries. Another reason why the cyclone was so deadly was that there was no warning system in place. The first time many people realized something was wrong was when the storm hit. This is because weather forecasting technology was not advanced enough at the time. People had no way of knowing that a cyclone was coming. If they had known, they may have been able to take steps to protect themselves, but in this case, they were caught off guard. The cyclone was so intense and so unexpected that it simply overwhelmed any attempts at survival. Then there's the fact that the cyclone hit an extremely poor area. If it had hit a wealthier area, there may have been more warning and better infrastructure. But in this case, it hit one of the poorest areas in the world. This made it harder for people to escape the storm and its aftermath. The cyclone caused an estimated $274 million in damage. That's equivalent to over $1.6 billion in today's money. The cyclone had a profound impact on the region. It caused widespread devastation and loss of life. It also had a major impact on the economy. The cyclone destroyed crops, livestock, and fishing boats. It also led to the deaths of hundreds of thousands of cattle. This had a devastating impact on the local economy, which relied heavily on agriculture and fishing. But despite all of this, the people of the region are incredibly resilient. They rebuilt their lives and their communities in the aftermath of the storm. They also created warning systems and other measures to protect themselves against future storms. The government of Bangladesh is now much better prepared to deal with cyclones than it was in 1970. There are early warning systems in place, and people are more aware of the dangers of cyclones. There are also more measures in place to protect against storm surges. These measures include building seawalls and planting trees to act as a buffer against the wind and waves. The people of Bangladesh are also more resilient than they were in 1970. They have learned from past disasters, and they are better prepared to deal with them now. They have community leaders who can help them prepare for and recover from disasters. They also have access to resources that can help them rebuild their lives if disaster strikes again. The Bhola Cyclone of 1970 is remembered as one of the worst natural disasters in history. It caused widespread devastation and loss of life. But it also showed the resilience of the human spirit. The people of the region are still recovering from the cyclone, but they are also rebuilding their lives and their communities. They have learned from the disaster and they are taking steps to protect themselves against future storms. The Bhola Cyclone sparked massive international aid efforts, especially from Pakistan and India. People sent food, clothing, medicine, and money to help the victims of the cyclone. The cyclone also led to political unrest in East Pakistan. Many people felt that the government was not doing enough to help them. They began to call for independence from Pakistan. This led to the Bangladesh Liberation War of 1971. The war resulted in the creation of Bangladesh, a new country in South Asia. So why haven't we seen another storm like the Bhola cyclone since 1970? Well, it's probably because of a combination of factors. First, the storm hit an extremely poor area. If it had hit a wealthier area, there may have been more warning and better infrastructure. But in this case, it hit one of the poorest areas in the world. This made it harder for people to escape the storm and its aftermath. Second, the storm was just extremely powerful. It was a once-in-a-lifetime event that we are unlikely to see again anytime soon. Finally, we have learned a lot about cyclones since 1970. We know more about how to forecast them, and we have better early warning systems in place. We also know more about how to protect ourselves against them. While we cannot predict when the next big cyclone will strike, we can take steps to protect ourselves against the worst of their wrath. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, and be nice to each other. The Bhola Cyclone of 1970 wasn't just a storm. It was a wall of water that erased 500,000 lives in one night. A reminder of nature's ultimate power